Welcome to the DY Prods channel. That's right. I'm your guy, DY Fly. What it do? It is Wednesday, so waivers just ran. We are going to talk a little bit of football, a little bit of strategy. We're going to take a look at my GnG Connect League. You know, that's my main league. We're going to see, the standings. We're going to see, we're going to take a look at my team, see what moves I could potentially make, and what's the outlook for the next couple weeks, this weekend, the next couple weeks. But first, we're going to get into it, man. We're going to take a look at some rules and guidelines that we can all. Hey, hold on, cut the music. We're going to take a look at some rules and guidelines that we all can apply to this fantasy football life game. All right. I know, a lot of people, we talk about it here and there. We might say one thing here, but we never really see it put into one little bubble that we can look at and say, okay, I that's something I need to remember. All right. So let's just get into it, man. And mind you, this list is fluid. We're going to see what should be closer to the top, what should just be on the list, period. But let's go ahead and do this. All right. And yeah, these are guidelines to fantasy to help us navigate this fantasy game. And if you have, and this is just stuff that I've come up with that I've learned over the years just playing fantasy and stuff just to keep in mind. I've never put it on a list, but I did today, and I did it for you. I did it for me. I did it for you. We all benefiting from this. All right. So let's take a look. Guidelines to fantasy, right? Rules. Number 1, know your fantasy league mates. Now for this is helpful for a couple reasons. You got to know your fantasy league mates to, one, if you know that your fantasy league mates aren't like that aggressive on putting down fab for waivers, then that's going to save you some fab money. That's going to save you some fab money down the line, so you won't have to blow all your load and pause. But just on one player, you can put down just like 15, maybe $10 here or there instead of doing a whole 30. That's going to save you some money. Number 2, if you know your league mates, you know who likes to trade. So there are people in my league, and I'm sure in your league, that like to trade. Sometimes they like to trade just to trade, and you might be able to get a deal and fleece them out of a player that's actually been producing for them, but they might feel like they're getting the better end of the deal, but at the end of the day, you might still win. So if you know your league mates, and if you know a certain person likes to trade just to trade, go ahead, send them a deal. That's going to end up benefiting you at the end. Number 2, trust your gut and initial instinct. Now this goes to either setting up lineups and playing the waiver game. So trust your gut. It's usually okay. Say if you pick up a player from waivers, right? And you're like, all right, I know this person. You see the news hits, and you're like, all right, this is going to be a good play for this week, right? You put them in the lineup. Now Wednesday passes by, the Thursday night game passes by, and we got a couple days until the Sunday games, and you're sitting there looking at the waivers, and you're looking at another player that you also want, but your roster might be full, the bench might not have a lot of bench space or whatever, so you pick them up, and you drop the person that you initially picked up. Now more times than not, you should have just stuck with the first person that you picked up. All right. So that's trusting your gut, the initial move, the initial instinct. And when setting your lineup, say if you set your lineup and you just blah blah blah, It's like Goku and Ultra Instinct. He don't even need to think about it. Like the punch comes this way, he just moves. He just ducking and dodging, like Neo in the Matrix and the bullets, He doesn't even think about it. You just set your lineup and you don't even think about it. That's trusting your gut, and don't tinker. Don't tinker with your lineup. You just set it and forget it. All right. Uh this is one of the staples that everybody knows. Pick players on good offenses. Now, this is pretty clear cut. The top-notch offenses like the Packers, the Vikings now, the Eagles, 49ers, teams like that. You just pick players. It's going to make your uh, fantasy life a lot easier than trying to pick out one player with a fragile situation, depending on the quarterback, depending on if the offensive coordinator, he doesn't have his head up his ass, all types of shit. You want to stay away from fragile situations. And you know what? I should put that on the list. Stay away from fragile situations, or try to avoid fragile situations. I think I'm gonna put that on the list. But moving on, trust your bench, right? Trust your bench. Now, you might be thinking that you might be getting a deal or making a good move by going to the waivers, right? And picking up a player and then sticking them into your lineup instead of using the players that you drafted for these situations, for when buys hit, when injuries hit. Trust your bench. This is something I've had to learn. Like, I'll go to the waivers in a minute. I'll just be like, man, I'm not trusting my bench. I'll pick up somebody from the waivers, but then they'll end up giving me only like 5 points, 6 points. And then I see somebody on my bench that goes off for like 15 plus points, that could have won me a week. So trust your bench. It will work out for you in the end. Be a week early. So you got to pay attention, man. You got to pay attention to waivers, to free agents that you could potentially pick up. You want to be a week early because this will save you fab money as well. Um, so like I picked up Juju Smith-Schuster, right? Now, I already went through the logic of picking up Juju Smith-Schuster, and it just made sense to me. So I picked him up last week. He goes off. He has a good game on Monday Night Football. Now I don't have to spend any fab money for the next week. I can spend it on somebody else if I had any fab money. I already spent all mine. All right. Dalton Cade, he didn't make Dalton Can't Cade. That's what we call him. Him, couple other guys, didn't work out. I don't have any fab money. I picked up Don Wicks. We're gonna see what I think. I still believe in him. He kind of flopped last week, but we're gonna work through that. But be a week early. Try to pay attention to situations outside of just your main roster and your main guys. Keep an eye on it so you can pick them up. If you see some news that comes across, like I just picked up Kendre Miller, right? He started practicing this week. Alvin Kamara, he's older. His ribs are broken right now. He has a lot of carries right now. It only makes sense to pick up Kendre Miller because he's going there, and Taysom Hill, he's injured right now. But we saw earlier in the season that he got like 2 touchdowns rushing. So there's room in this offense for 2 running backs to thrive and produce fantasy points. So be a week early. Just pay attention, man. Ask for receipts from your favorite fantasy analysts. Look, man, I've seen some bogus ass information out here, yo. So the top guys, they usually have like the best tools for us to use, for them to use and for us to use. But then they'll tell us 1 + 1 = 11. And that's when you hear bogus information, that's when you should start asking, hey, just put it in the comments, hey man, I need to see your fantasy team, because telling me to down tier from Jordan Love, right, to trade away Jordan Love to get more pieces, the down tier to Trevor Lawrence just to get more pieces on my fantasy team doesn't make any sense to me. All right. I'm gonna trade away a top notch, at least the top five potentially, and top 10 quarterback that has a reliable offense, right? The offense goes through him. He can run a little bit. One of the few offenses that actually passes down the field. Why would I trade that away to get with a mid quarterback with a tenuous situation that's not reliable? That doesn't make any sense to me. I'd rather keep the stud quarterback and then figure out the running back, wide receiver, tight end situation than this tenuous situation potentially busting on me. Nah, F all that. So ask your favorite fantasy analyst for receipts. These guys, they be talking out their ass sometimes. They just want to say hot takes for hot takes sake, and it's not working out, yo. You gotta keep look. If they're gonna, if they're kind enough to receive, or they're humble enough to receive your super chats when you ask them questions and shit, then they should be humble enough to put their goddamn fantasy teams on display for the world to see what's going on. All right. Uh don't Now the last one is something I had to learn, you know, uh, uh, this is something that you either get or you don't. Now, me, I don't trust these light skin ass wide receivers, all right? Uh that would be Drake London. Hold up. Drake London, Michael Pittman, Chris Olave, Christian Watson, Michael Wilson, Jermaine Burton, from Cincinnati. They hyping him up. All these dudes, all right? Light skinned ass wide receivers. I don't trust them. They hype the fantasy community, hypes them up every single year, and they don't do shit. They don't help you win a league. They just put you in this uh state of perpetual, oh man, he went off this week, and then he gives you like a midweek the next week, a midweek the next 4 weeks, and then you just wondering, man, you know he produced when his quarterback. Look, man, Drake London, he just went off this past week, right? But it took Kirk Cousins to have to throw the ball 58 times for Drake London to go off. Now, I want that just to set in for just a moment, all right? And he was second on his team in targets. Look, Christian Watson, he can't stay healthy. That's another thing. They soft, man. They soft. And the rule, there is an exception to this rule for me. And we're going through it. For me, there can only be one elite light skinned ass receiver at a time. And until Mike Evans retires, no one is taking a spot. Period. All right. No one's taking a spot. Until he falls off or until he retires, no one's taking this. No, there's only room for one. All right. And if you go through the rankings of these wide receivers, you're gonna be like, damn, all the good ones, they're not light skinned. Damn, he might be on something. But look, you don't have to take my word for it. Just pay attention. Pay attention to it. That's all I got for that. But look, you gotta look. Let me know. Some of y'all been playing fantasy longer than me, and y'all got rules that that should be on the guidelines to succeed in fantasy. So let me know. Put it in the comments, and we gonna add it. We gonna add it. I don't know everything, but these are some of the things that I do know. So just let me know. So we gonna move on to the GnG Connect League, right? We're gonna get to the GnG Connect League. But so you see here that my team, the final boss, I'm 2-3 right now, right? And we're gonna go through each team to see why they are where they are. We're gonna take a look at each roster to see what I'm up against, just to let you know. Team Green, he is 5-0. We're gonna take a look at his team to see why he is undefeated right now. Everybody else is pretty much bunched up at 2-3, 3-2. Now, Hot Boy Summer, he is ahead of me. Now, this motherfucker, look, we gonna get into insides a little bit on my league. Hot Boy Summer, I don't hear from him on birthdays, uh, Thanksgiving, Christmas. If I celebrate it, I don't hear from him throughout the whole year. Unless if he gets the W against me. All right. Why in the look, I people know I like to talk a little bit of smack, all right? But that's the only time I hear from this guy. And he just beat me this past week. And guess what? I got a text. He was checking on my well-being, but he slid he's like, man, I had to put my foot in your ass this week. So people like taking shots at your boy. I don't mind it though. I could take it. I ain't cut from the same cloth that they are. I'm cut from steel, But yeah, let's take a look at some of these teams, man. We're gonna end up on my team at the end. Let's do it. So Willis lays the wood. He is 3-2. You see that he has Joe Burrow. He has a top 5 quarterback. He has 2 top 5 running backs in Kyron Williams and Saquon Barkley. Travis Etienne, he just picked up Tank Bigsby off of waivers, so that's a shaky situation. So he did the right thing. He handcuffed. He got a top 5 wide receiver in Justin Jefferson. And that's another thing. Listen, don't fade the best wide receiver in the league. All right. That's another little tidbit. Hold on, let me change this. So yeah, don't fade the best wide receiver in the league. Garrett Wilson, he's doing his thing. He'll be all right. They just fired Robert Saleh, so we'll see what happens with that. Brandon Ayuk, he's a solid number 3. He got Javonte, Jackson Smith, and Jigba that you gonna fill in, and he got Trevor Lawrence. He's sitting at 17. Oh, he dropped the kicker. You dropped the kicker? Hey, yo, look. Let me tell you something. Hey, shout out to all right. Look, you see, this is called the GnG Connect League. This Willis lays the wood. That is one of the G's. I'm the other G. So I'm a league manager for this. But the GnG Connect is the Grinch and the greatness. I am the Grinch. He is the greatness. I'm one half of the GnG Connect. And one day he will come on here and he's going to give us his football knowledge. He's going to bless us with his football knowledge. And but look, he dropped the kicker. Look, when I say know your league mates, this is one of the most conservative players that I've ever seen. Like, he'll hold on to players for forever and ever, right? And he doesn't tinker with his lineup like that, all right? He'll just keep everything. He's going to ride the wave, whether it's something you can surf on or something you can just get a little boogie board on. But he's going to ride the wave, whatever size wave it is. He's not going to do a lot of tinkering. The fact that he dropped his kicker just to pick up a player and make sure, look, you do that for 2 reasons. Either one, you look at your matchup and you're like, I can win without a kicker this week. I'm gonna just thug it out. And 2, I want the player who I want. I need my roster. I need these players, man. Fuck the kicker. I'm gonna get the player who I want. So shout out to you, yo. Shout out to the greatness for that. But he looks like he's gonna be in good shape. He has a couple of big buys. Whatever. All right. I hate this goddamn name. I don't know. Cough 2-2-1. He tied early this year. That's rare. But he got C.J. Stroud, Najee, who's a slug, Josh Jacobs. He's been injured. Jamar Owens. He's number one right now. He got CD, who he's gonna be fine. Uh, Debo, he's going to be on and off this year. He's getting a little bit older, but let me see. Trey McBride, I don't know how he's doing for him, but Baker, he's been a great pickup. He actually came to the league. This is a 10-team keeper league. You can keep up to 8. He kept 8, and he didn't have a quarterback, and he drafted Baker and during his draft. So shout out to him for picking up Baker. Um, and he has Devontae Smith coming back this week. So his team looks like it's all right. He picked up Trey Sermon and Tyrone Tracy off of waivers. He's 2-2. He doesn't have many weaknesses except maybe this flex spot, but he has you got Jonathan Taylor. Yeah, he's gonna be all right. He's gonna be all right if they put it all together. He'll be all right. We're gonna save Team Green for last. Miguel. Oops, my bad. Coco's Locos. He's 3-2. He got a top right outside the top 5 quarterback in Dak Prescott. David Montgomery, he is 15, but yeah, they're just coming off a bye, so he's been over 15 points this whole year. So yeah, that's a solid dude right there. J.K. Dobbins, we've been kind of waiting for the shoe to drop, and it's not because of injury, it's just because the injury history. Eventually the season wears on, and he hasn't been healthy this far into a season in a minute. So Chris Olave, he's light skinned, so he's going to do light skinned things. He's at the number 33. Stephon Diggs has been solid. DK has been DKing. He's at number 8 right now. He picked up Bucky. Did he draft Bucky Irvin? Yep, he drafted him in the late round. So shout out to him for that. For having the foresight. He picked up Quentin Johnson. Um, in waivers a couple weeks ago, and he's waiting for his team to come together. He has some good players, man. He has some really good players. Jalen Waddle, Jordan Addison, Rashid Shaheed, Jordan Whittington. So and he has Pacheco on the bench. So if his team comes together, which it may not come together, who knows? But if Tua comes back, he can put Waddle back in, and he might be able to make a little run. Um, and he got golf, so yeah, his team is solid. Hot boy Summer, he's sitting at 2-3 right now. So yeah, you got Josh Allen. Now Josh Allen has a concussion issue right now, and uh, yeah, I don't know if that is real or what, but Alvin Kamara, he's the number 1 running back. He got DeAndre Swift. He's playing well right now. Mike Evans, he's still solid. Jameson Williams, he's going to be boomer bust, boomer bust. Kirk, yeah, Tajay Spears, DeAndre Hopkins, you know, I don't know. I don't know. Kirk Cousins, yeah, it looks like he's coming along. Yeah, but he's got a solid roster. Um, you got Cooper Kupp. If Cooper Kupp can come back and produce for him, I think he's supposed to be back before Puka, so I think he might be all right. Kyle Pitts, look, man, that's fool's gold. That's fool's gold. He was in that game this past week. He was fourth in. Look, you don't have to take my word for it. He was fourth in targets. All right, and if Ray McLeod is out producing you, I don't know what to tell you, yo. I don't know what to tell you. Operation Doomsday. He's 1-3-1. He is the new guy in the league, but he is old in our life. We actually played with him in his league a couple years back, and he was gracious enough to join us this year. Let's take a look at his team, though. He's got Brock Purdy, Jameer, Chase Brown, Michael Pittman, Marvin Harrison, Goddard, Flowers, Mooney, Aaron Rodgers. So a lot of things have to break right. Jalen Warren, Rasheed Rice, yeah, he got hit up with a couple injuries this year, and he's waiting for Hawkinson to get back. But Drake May, he just got activated. He's going to start this week, so we'll see what he can do and inject some life into the Patriots offense. But Zay Flowers, uh, Chase Brown, Jameer, Brock, and definitely Darnell Mooney, they seem to be the bright spot for his team. So hopefully they can produce for him moving forward. Virginia goalposts. Let's see. They're 1-4. They got Kyler. He's a top 10 running quarterback, but yeah, he's got a couple boom games and 3 busts. So that's his situation. Rashad White with no Bucky. Aaron Jones is hurt right now, but he's been solid. Tyreek Hill, he doesn't have Tua right now. So Drake London, look, man, look, look, look. He's been all right, but look, I'm trying to tell you, yo, he's not gonna help you win a championship. I promise you. Brock Bowers, Zach Moss, Alan Lazard, yeah, Deshaun Watson, yeah, he's got a couple holes. He's got the Sun God and Laporta, Antonio Gibson, and 2 on IR. So maybe they can put it together. But you see why he's 1-4 right now, because his team's just not performing up to par. Washed up is 3-2. He got Jaden Daniels, Bijan, Chuba, which has been a great addition. Did he draft him? He had to have, right? Yeah, he drafted him in the 13th. So solid pickup. Malik Neighbors, and you might ask, like, why does he have everybody like this, or why does he have all the young players? Is because he dropped a lot of people other than Bijan, and now he has Jaden Daniels, Malik Neighbors, and he was able to pick up some of these players in the draft. So they're producing for him. He picked up Wandell, I guess, in the past couple of weeks from waivers. Gino's been solid. Caleb, he's putting it together a little bit. So yeah, he's got a solid top half. He's got Amari. Maybe he might get traded. Calvin's gonna be boomer bust. Austin's gonna be boomer bust. Raheem Mostert, he just got back into the mix. Tyler Algier, he's a nice handcuff. Josh Downs, he might have to stick him in. Spencer Rattler, all right. And Hollywood, he went on IR earlier this season. So you see his team has been producing for him, and now he's above 500. So stop, father, it hurts. That that picture is crazy, yo. He's 3-2. He got Jalen Hurts. I helped build out his team for him. So, and he won the championship last year. So you're welcome. Ramondre Stevenson, he's been up and down, but he dropped some fab on him. See, this is one of the players that's aggressive in the league with trades and fab, right? Know your league mates. He picked up Jordan Mason. He picked up Jawan Jennings. Is he 3-2? He's 2-3. So, he probably got injured somewhere. Keenan Allen hasn't been doing shit. James Conner, he's been solid. Tony Pollard, I guess he's a fringe RB2, but you know how it go. Daniel Jones, middling. The Broncos been doing his thing. Justin Herbert, he's been yeah, he's hurt right now, so it is what it is. He got Christian McCaffrey though, and he's got a couple handcuffs. Joe Flacco, he's got Puka, so he's been kind of hit with injuries, and he's just trying to figure it out right now. And Nico Collins, breaking news: Nico Collins just went on IR for 4 weeks, and we'll get to that why that's important in a second. Team Green, the only undefeated team in the league, talking shit in the chat in the chat. We had my co-league manager, the greatness. He sent out a league text message a couple last week or something. He said, "Yo, this is the PayPal y'all can send the money to," and we get a response back from Team Green saying all proceeds can be sent to his Cash App. Hey man, he's feeling himself right now. But like I said before, this is a marathon. This is not a sprint. It's a marathon. But I'm definitely going to see him in the playoffs, and we going.
What's that?
I said I'm going to see him in the playoffs.
What?
I want to see him in the playoffs.
Playoffs?
All right, man. Whatever, yo. Whatever. But his team has been super, super. Like you see, he got all singles. Hold up. Let me change this so you can see. My man got all singles. 1, 6, 2, 6. Like he hit on all his players, yo. All of them. Not just one, all of them. How do you hit on all your players? Like not one is bad. That's how you end up undefeated. All right. That's how you end up undefeated. Lamar, James Cook has been great. Derrick Henry is doing Derrick Henry things. T. Higgins, he's coming along, right? He had a big game last game. Yeah. He just got back from injury the past 2 weeks or whatever, or 3 weeks. Chris Godwin's been doing Chris Godwin things. Khalil Shakur has been solid. Brian Robinson's a top 10 running back. Brian Thomas is a beast. Justin Fields, he's doing his thing, man. Let's see. Keon Coleman, Kareem Hunt. He picked up Kareem Hunt recently, and Dalton Kincaid or Cade. He's a Bills fan, obviously, if you can't tell. He's definitely a Bills fan. Buffalo, Khalil, James Cook, Bills defense, Keon Coleman, Dalton Kincaid. Yeah, he's a Bills fan, definitely. But shout out to his team. He's getting it done. But yeah, last but not least, let's take a look at my team and see why we are in the position that we are in. Now, the final boss, I am 2-3. Now, right here, you see a team that is, like I said before, this is shit covered in glitter, right? Jordan Love. I set my lineup, but you see the lineup is Jordan Love, Breeze, K9, AJ Brown, Deontay, Tank Dell, which Nico just went into IR. So, hey man, if Tank doesn't produce now, I don't know what the deal is. All right. Maybe he's still reeling from being shot and being that broken leg or whatever. But Jaden Reed's been solid. Dontavian Wicks flopped. I have Andy Dalton. I don't like having four. I have 4 quarterbacks on my team, and Jordan Love, Andy Dalton. Patrick Mahomes has been terrible this year, at least in fantasy, and Sam Darnold. So I picked up Sam Darnold as soon as Jordan Love got hurt that week. But you see the rest of my team, Devin Achan 2K. It looks like it's not going to happen this year, but he's got a headache. Jonathan Brooks, I'm waiting for him to come on. I picked up Braylon Allen as a handcuff. Juju, I already told you I picked him up. And these are my two pickups for the week: Jalen Polk and Kendre Miller. I got Keaton Mitchell on the bench. So Kendre and Keaton, I see that the running game is working for the Saints and the Ravens. So I'm hoping whenever they get their chance, they'll be able to produce. Maybe I could use them as trade bait. Maybe they might be able to produce for my team. But you see that everything hasn't been able to be put together totally. Like AJ Brown's uh been injured. Tank Dell hasn't done anything. Deontay, we had to wait until Bryce was out of the lineup. Brees Hall, the past 2 weeks? Yeah, the past 2 weeks has been abysmal. Um, Jordan Love, he was hurt for a couple weeks. Patrick Mahomes has been bad. Devin Achane for the past 2 weeks have been bad. Sam Darnold has really been the only bright spot for me this year. Um, as far as my starters go. But yeah, and Jaden Reed, I guess, and Kenneth Walker. But last game, look, that's what I'm saying. We need to figure out what offenses are legit, um, and what offensive coordinators have their head up their ass, right? But that's all I got. That's all. I just want to share that with you, and that's pretty much it, man. Like, yeah, but let me know in the comments. Let me know in the comments what rules we need to add to the rules of fantasy, the guidelines that we need to keep in mind. Um I might have to drop a link to the rules of fantasy, but let me know what ones that you've experienced over the years that you think should be on the list. But with that, I'm out. Peace.